Girl.
All right, everybody, if you want to bring it in real quick, I want to be honest with you right off the bat. I just showed up to find out who the organizer was. I still don't know. If you're here, raise your hand. You made the flyer. Perfect. Awesome. That's all right. I've organized an event or two here, so the police are going to map out a route for us. We're going to go down to Trade Street. We're going to go down to Liberty Street. We're going to cut up to 4th. We're going to march all the way down 4th. We're going to come back around the library. We're going to meet back here while I'll take a knee. And honestly, since it seems like it's an open forum, again, I'm not the leader. I just figured we need to start marching. If anybody maybe has something to say afterwards, if you have a cause representing, we do have some youth leaders here. So for the youth that are here, they have set up a few avenues for you to find information, to register for vote, all that good stuff. So again, spontaneous. We're gonna start marching in a second. Anybody wants to start chanting, it's a group effort. I love you all.
We love you.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, let's go.
No justice!
No peace!
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 No racist!
Police!
No justice!
No peace!
No racist!
Police!
Take a knee, take a knee, take a knee.
If y'all can hear me, put your fist in the air! Set the example.
Can everybody say his name?
George Floyd!
Can everybody say her name?
Breonna Taylor!
I want you all to acknowledge, just take a second to acknowledge the fact that we are here once again. One more day of us marching for our lives, marching peacefully, marching together with people who look like us, people who don't look like us, people who believe in the things that we believe in, people who do not. Take some time to respect each other. Take some time to thank each other for joining each other for one more day. Thank whoever it is that you may thank for that extra breath, simply because we are here marching for the people who could not. I will allow everyone to take a moment of silence. Spill I've given every night. I want to remind you all that we are not doing church camp cries. This is not sports camp. This is not about just me or just you or just getting in the camera so that you can have a photo op. This is not for clout. We are begging for our lives. We're trying to tell everyone that our lives are just as valuable as all the other brown and black people here, as all the other white people here, as the Italian people here, the transgender people here. Why is it so difficult to understand that? Why are we fighting for that? If that doesn't make you angry, then I don't know what will. Are you guys ready to get out here and march and show the world, not just Winston-Salem, but show everyone that we can make this happen without tearing down our own communities, by lifting each other up, by building each other up? Yes. Now lastly, I must remind you, as I have every night, if you are not a person of color, and you are not standing with us, and you are not standing in front of us, knowing what happens to us, people who look like me, people who look like him, and you are not standing with us and in front of us, and you are a spectator. If you are a spectator, then this is not the place for you. Do you want to get hurt because you wanted to speculate? Because you wanted to look? No one wants to get hurt because they didn't want to be here. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you are here and you're not a person of color, stand with us. Stand in front of us. Do not be a spectator. Be an ally. No justice!
No peace!
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 No racism!
Police!
Everyone hydrated? Anyone need any water? Y'all good to go?
We good?
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace! No peace!
I also noticed that on Monday, we're the only old guys that were uploaded.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah!
Today is Breonna Taylor's 27th birthday. She got shot in the comfort of her own home by police. So we're going to take a moment of silence for Breonna Taylor. No matter what you believe in, we're going to speak to her right now. Okay, can everyone sing? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Breonna. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
All right, let's keep marching.
No justice!
No peace!
Can everybody say community?
Community!
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 You guys have all experienced the communities of your own, whether you're from Winston-Salem. I personally am from Columbus, Ohio, born and raised. Oh wait. I did my first years of school in South Carolina and experienced community there. I also experienced deep, very dark, scary racism. It's not something that you ever think that you'll experience. You haven't, it won't happen to me attitude, but now here we are. And it's happening to me. It's happening to my sister here. It's my brother here. And I'm asking you, for the people who don't necessarily look like my sister and my brother and myself right here, to stand with us in solidarity. We're asking for people to just treat us the same. Usually when you beg for something, you're gonna get an answer, a yes or a no, and we've been begging for, over 400 years. Is anyone tired?
Yeah.
Is anyone tired? And you should be angry. You should be pissed off. You should be fired up. It shouldn't be a question. I shouldn't have to ask you, are you ready for change? Change is never going to be easy. The reason that you guys are out here is because you're ready for change. You're willing to change. We're all out here in mass. God damn, that's so fucking uncomfortable. Do you understand me? But the only way for change to happen is to make people uncomfortable. That's right. And here we are. Who shuts down Broad Street? Who on the regular shuts down 52? Nobody does that. That's not a comfort zone for anyone to stand on the highway. It's not comfortable for anyone to lay down on the ground and put their hands behind their back and scream, Mom. It wasn't comfortable for George Floyd when they put that knee on his neck for 9 minutes. So if you want to make a change, it's time to be disruptive. Get out here. Make sure they feel you. Make sure they hear you. Make sure they see you. Because they acted like they didn't see George Floyd begging for his breath. They act like they didn't see the Breonna Taylors and the Ayanna Jeffersons and the goddamn Henry Greens. If that doesn't upset you, then I don't know what will. If someone came to your house and set it on fire and said, oh, but I have a house too, how would you feel? My house is on fire. I understand you have a house and your house matters to me. That's your house, that's where you live, it's your livelihood, but your house isn't on fire. Right now, my house is on fire. Her house is on fire. His house is on fire. And we're asking you to simply say, their house is on fire. We have to put it out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does this add up for you?
Yes.
Are you an ally?
Yes.
Do you think your friends stand with you? Y'all really rock with y'all's friends?
Yeah.
Rihanna said it right. Rihanna said it right. Tell your friends to pull up. It's power in numbers. Bring your friends out. If your friends aren't willing to stand for this, then they shouldn't stand with you, and that's just what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you guys ready? Has everyone caught their breath? Has everyone had a chance to get a drink of water?
Black lives matter. 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 Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Black lives matter.
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! George Floyd! George Floyd!
Say his name!
Breonna Taylor!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Louder!
George Floyd!
Louder!
George Floyd!
Louder!
George Floyd!
Louder!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
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 George Floyd!
Stop.
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! George Floyd! George Floyd! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! No peace! No peace! Police! Police! No peace!
Let's see y'all's hands. Oh, I got it. Say his name.
George Floyd!
Say her name.
Breonna Taylor!
No. We say these names, but they're only last in the line of millions of victims in a 400-year history of oppression in this country. Yeah. I just graduated high school. I don't need that much credit.
You knew your history, though.
Well, I'm about to get to that. Every year, for all, 13 years of school, there's been 1 month, the shortest month of the year,
February.
dedicated to Black history. And you know how much in this school system that they actually talk about Emmett Till, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. Those are the only names they mention. There's people like Huey Newton fighting on the side of justice. And we, in my classes at least, we spend maybe 15 minutes talking about them. All that time, all that history, all of that fight for justice.
No, sir.
Not many people know, but the last holdout for the Black Panther Party was right here in Winston-Salem. And folks don't know that they weren't terrorists. They were agitators. They set up food banks for the poor. They were fighting for everybody. All right. Huey Newton, the founder of the Black Panther Party, once said that the revolution sits on our backs. Are we gonna hold it?
Yeah!
Are we gonna fight for justice? Are we gonna fight for criminal justice? Are we gonna fight for economic justice? Are we gonna fight for climate justice? Are we gonna fight for racial justice in this world? All right. Now, posting on your story is one thing. I've seen like all of you do it.
I've done it.
All right. That is one thing. Yes, it is not enough. It is not enough to just virtue signal and say, hey, you know what? Equality, that sounds good. It's not enough to just say that. You have to get out here on the streets like you all are and fight for it. Gotta get in the streets. I wanted to see all of y'all at the city council meeting making everybody up there deaf with your cries for justice. Because it isn't just about voting. And while we young people are witnessing the biggest voting discrimination and destroying, they're destroying democracy in this state. We got gerrymandering, we got voter ID laws. So it isn't enough to just vote. And you know, I was doing research today, and I found out that in this past, the presidential primary that they talked endlessly about, only 33% of the people registered in this county voted. It ain't just about registering to vote, it's about getting out there. Because we have to choose the people who are actually gonna fight for us. And it's sad. And it's sad that in some ways, in many ways, both parties, the two choices we have on the ballot are united in oppression.
Talk to them.
I mean, not many people know this, but Minnesota has a Democratic governor, Democratic Congress. The city of Minneapolis has 12 people on their city council who are Democrats and 1 Green. Which is great, by the way. I love Greens. It's not just about voting down the line. It's about picking who really represents justice, who will really be that catalyst for change. All it gets down to is just Google searching the candidates that you see on your ballot. That's it. That's literally it. We have more power in our fingertips. Oh my God, I sound like this. You hear this a lot. You have more power at your fingertips than any other generation in human history combined.
Amen. Hell yeah!
Fucking use it! Because I don't want to have to come out here and organize all these people every single time we see injustice, because it's every day. It's every day. All it takes, literally all it takes, is going to your city council meeting, going to volunteering, donating, getting involved, so we don't have to sweat out here. I mean, it's just that simple. And it's all about getting the youth involved. Because while only 33% of people voted in this county, young people, it was not many. Young people are the revolutionary bloc, and we actually gotta make that our name. That's what I preach to you, and thank you guys for coming out.
I was told that just wasn't going to happen, you know, it might be a safety issue. I didn't know why people were telling me I couldn't do it, but I was convinced, oh, you know, being the president's dangerous, that something might happen to me, you know, I didn't really know that. I subconsciously had internalized racism. I was subconsciously discriminating against myself, telling me I couldn't do something because I didn't look like the 50-something white men that have been our presidents for what, the last something 100 years? It's not okay. All of you could be leaders in our community. I can see it. I can see it right now. And that means you're gonna have to come out, you're gonna have to do things like this, you're gonna have to get involved, you're gonna have to volunteer. It's not just something you put on a college resume, a college application. It's not something you write an essay about. You don't just go out and go to the Humane Society and go to places just in Crosby Scholars just so you can have something, the hours to write for your volunteer thing. That's not okay. That's not what you should be doing it for. You should be doing what you're interested in, and you should be doing it all the time. I think it's crucial. So thank you guys for coming out. Amelia's gonna say some stuff about the Okay. So if you guys are not donating, educating, and protesting, then you are taking side of the oppressor. Posting a little black screen and doing nothing will not do anything. I am mad. I should not have to worry about my father every day. I should not have to worry about my cousins, my uncles, my whole family. I shouldn't have to worry about your family. Wow! It is crucial to share your education. We have to educate the next generation so that they don't turn out like those police officers that killed George Floyd. That cannot happen again, and it will not happen again. Black Lives Matter then, Black Lives Matter now, and I pray to God I don't have to have this conversation in the future. Thank you.
Good to breathe.
That's right.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Exactly.
What else? Say it again. Stand up and say it again. Stand up and say it again.
I use white privilege.
Right. Stand up. Come up here.
Come on up here.
Come up here.
When we can't breathe, when we do these protests, when we do these rallies, we're showing you that we matter just as much as you matter. We're not saying we matter more. We're not saying we're going to do anything vital. But what angers me so much, people are worried about a target. We are worried about the target on our backs for nothing. Lives are not supposed to be taken away from us. We are not supposed to raise our children, telling them that they can't act any way that they would like to, just because there's somebody there that's gonna kill them. We are not raising our children to be any type of target, to be any type of test monkey, to be anything that you are gonna take away.
That's right.
When I have children, I want them to grow up and not worry. I'm not gonna worry about my son. I'm not gonna worry about my daughter. I'm not gonna worry about my mom, my brother, my sister. Our lives matter. And stop ignoring us. When we speak, we're not saying it to hurt anybody. We're saying it to make a change. So ignoring us, that's not gonna happen. And this younger generation, y'all are here to help us out. Y'all looking to shape the way that the world grows up. When we're moving on, this is gonna be the world if you don't change it. So younger generation, if you want any sort of change it yourselves. Because who's gonna stop you? If we rally together, they can't stop us. If we speak together, they can't stop us. And I know that this wasn't the first time anything like this has happened. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, and you know it won't be the last unless we make a change.
No peace! Police! Police! George Floyd! Breonna Taylor!
I just want to say I'm sorry. Everyone deserves love. I don't know what goes through people's head when they can't have compassion for anybody but themselves. And that comes down from the top. Our president doesn't care about anybody but himself. And youth matters. You always say your voice doesn't count. I'm 16, I can't vote, but I can encourage other people to vote. And people are scared, they live in fear. But the only thing stronger than fear is hope, and we have hope. I'm sorry, I will never pretend that I understand, but I will stand with you. For as long as I live, I will stand in front of a gun for you. I love each and every one of you. I love you. Everybody please say love. Love. Thank you. We all deserve love. Every single one of us. We all share that in common. We all share love and compassion. Some people know how to use it. Encourage people to love on one another. Spend 1 minute out of your day
texting someone that you may have fought with, saying, I still love you and I still support you. And I want to speak for churches. There are churches out there that turn people away. People come to church maybe one day and they're like, hey, I'm going to go to church, and if one person talks to me and loves me, then maybe I won't end my life. And there's nobody I can say at my church that talks for people, and I'm sorry for that. And I will do something in my church. Everyone deserves to live. I'm so inspired to see all your faces, especially the youth. We are the future, and we've got this. This is not going to happen anymore. It's been 56 years since the Civil Rights Act was passed. That's crazy to me. We can't let this go on any longer. We have to love each other. Put your differences aside. We all share love. We all share hope. That is one thing that we can all share. And we have to take this freaking Cheeto out of the president, out of the White House.
I first want to say I don't deserve to be up here to speak to half of you, but I want to say thank you for listening to me, because I will never understand, but I will stand with you. You ask me for what I need, or what you need, and I will be there. And the rest of the country that is white should be there, but they are not. But the ones that are here need to go home, and they need to share that information with their parents, their friends, their siblings, their neighbors, their co-workers. We do not understand. And the main reason that I am standing up here is I am the mother of a white male who will be able to run down the streets without being shot. He will be able to read a book in his car. He will be able to sleep in his bed with no worries. And I have brought him out to the protest because I need him to see that it is not the same. He does not get the same attention. He gets privilege, and he needs to know that, because he needs to stand up and say that is not right. He needs to stand with his black neighbor. He needs to stand with his black friend and say, I am here and I hear you. Because that's what we are here for. I cannot speak for anyone of color, but I hear you and I am here for you. And the number one thing is I am here to teach my white male son to be here for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I wept as I watched as his dark eyes went blank, as the cops held him down by his neck, feet, and flank, while he begged for his life and he called for his mama. Murder in the streets. George Floyd, black man trauma. I wept as I watched him stumble, feet left unsteady, pursued by racist men, broad daylight, weapons ready, chased down and gunned down in the street. Ahmaud Arbery, ain't that heavy at your feet? I wept as I listened to her young, sad story of how cops broke into her home, no knock warrant, that's their glory, and shot her 8 times while her boyfriend shot back. Killed in her home. Breonna Taylor, shot while sleeping black. I wept when I saw it on Facebook Live. I was hot. Pulled over with your family? You don't expect to get shot. Had his hands on the steering wheel. A black man legally strapped at the stop. He never touched his weapon. Philando Castile, shot dead by a cop. I wept when I heard it. Please say it ain't so. He was only 12 years old. He was too young to go. While he played in the park, just himself and a toy gun. Cop on the scene for 3 seconds. Tamar Rice. Now he's just another dead son. I wept for all of them. All those dead but not listed. My tears are not weakness. Please, world, don't get that twisted. I'll take to these streets. I'll march and protest. Seek justice in their names. Put the PIS system to the test. While we demand justice that is given easily to the rest. Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter.
We never said all lives don't matter. That was them. That was the alt-right who wanted to undermine and take away the Black Lives Matter movement for us. Where was All Lives Matter when slave owners were raping their women and children? Where was All Lives Matter when kids were being shot with water hoses in the streets? Where was All Lives Matter when George Floyd was shot? Where was All Lives Matter when Breonna Taylor was shot? We never said all lives matter. In fact, anyone who says all lives matter should be here right now, because if all lives matter, Black Lives Matter.
Hell yeah!
All lives matter, out, Black Lives Matter.
I'm astounded. I'm so happy to see these many allies here to fight for us today. I am afraid for the future of our community. We cannot keep letting the justice system injustice us. We cannot keep letting cops off for killing our people. Right. We need to rebuild the system. It is killing us. It is deadly. We are all dying.
You got this.
We should not be living in fear each day for our lives. We need to fight for what's right. If you're an ally, stand with us, not against us. Yeah. Woo.
It's by Still I Rise. It's by Maya Angelou.
Oh yeah.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted line. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Oh, sorry. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides. Just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lower eyes. My shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard. Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still like air I'll rise. Out of the haunts of history's shame I'll rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I'm bearing the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and pain. I rise into a daybreak that's wonderfully clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Okay, I'm gonna say that as teenagers, because I see most of you here are teenagers, yeah, we have social media in our fingertips. We know how to use it, we know everything to do with it. So why aren't we using it to get everybody to know the same thing? Like, we need to educate each other. Fill the world with love and peace. You see how we're all peaceful here? It's because the police, they're helping us. They're going with us. They're escorting us. Yeah. They've been helping us the whole time. So educate your brothers, educate your sisters, educate your mom, educate your dad. Anybody who doesn't see what we're doing right now, educate them. That's all I gotta say.
I was just wondering if you guys would just join me in a word of prayer against the injustice that's in Winston-Salem and the United States. So if you guys would bow your head with me, if you will. Dear God, we come before you right now, all my brothers and sisters, Lord, and we just pray against the racism and the injustice that still continues to this day, Jesus. Just forgive us. Forgive me, Lord, this white, Lord, that I am. God, forgive me, God, for all my ancestors, Lord, that has discriminated, that has put down throughout time, Jesus. This is the end, Lord. This is just the beginning, God, of change, that we would speak up, that my brothers and sisters, all humans would come together and speak truth, Lord, that black lives do matter, that all lives do matter, God. And I just pray, Lord, I even think of just the image of a rainbow, God. Every color is so beautiful. Every color matters. And we come together, Lord. It's your promises, Jesus. And I just pray, Lord, against the injustice, that we would look at each other and we would see love and not hatred, that we would stand up against the violence, Lord. And we remember George Floyd, Lord. We remember of all those people throughout time, Lord, that have been oppressed, that have been killed, Lord, that they did not die in vain, that we hear them, that we would speak up at such a time as this, that we would come together, God, and we would use our voice for change, Lord. May we be the hands and feet of Jesus in this time, Lord. May your peace reign, may your love reign, and may we know that we are all equal at the foot of the cross, God. You died for all of us because you love all of us, Lord. May we all use our voice in unison, Lord, and say black lives do matter. In Jesus' name, amen.
I'm tired of sitting here. It's hot. I know. I wore a sweater. I'm stupid. Anyway. We have a fire EMS that wants to speak, so give a hand for Torrance.
I'll be brief, and I'm sorry you're uncomfortable, but remember that tonight and tomorrow and the day after. Where are we standing right now? Sitting. In front of a firehouse. These are our civil servants, are they not? Yeah. When they show up, we trust them, do we not? Yeah. Who's behind you right now? Do you trust them?
No.
Should you?
Absolutely not.
Should you be able to trust your police?
No.
Yes. When fire and EMS shows up, we trust. That's something that I never forgot when I showed up on any call. Someone could hand me their child, their grandmother. It's my job to do no harm. When you're arrested, what do they call that? Let's talk about definitions. It's called police custody. When you're in someone's custody, you are in their care. You should be able to have trust in them. No matter what you have done, you have a day in court. Not death on the street. Personally, I would at least, over this past week, I have seen online and on the news, I would at least like to thank the police officers that are here for not showing up in riot gear. I'm here. They shouldn't be. This isn't a military war zone. This is not a battle zone. This is a city street.
You ever hit by a cop? Because I have. I'm
Look,
just asking.
Last thing I'll say. You should be able to trust your civil servants.
Tax money.
They answer to the mayor. The mayor answers to you. Use your vote. Use your friends. Then get a new mayor. Say it with me one time. I can't breathe. Thank you.
Before we disperse, we're going to do it one more time. It's not going to be very long, but you have to leave with intention. So it's very, very important to stay focused right now, but you need to leave here focused. There's a lot more work to do. And I believe that. I've never been one to talk a whole lot about what I'm doing, which is why I don't like being here right now. Speaking.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. And I want to say, I love the community. I come from a very strong sense of community. Like I said, I'm from East Los Angeles. I was born in the 80s. I remember what happened, the Rodney King riots. I remember the police brutality from the LAPD finally pushing black and browns together. The Chicano in the community, the black community coming together, brown berets standing next to Black Panthers. And like I said earlier, they were beginning to realize in that moment what we are starting to embody now, which is we have to reach across the aisle, because that's the one way that they beat us. Like he said earlier, they don't think we can do this. They don't count on us to do this. They don't think we're smart enough to do this. They don't think we care enough to do this. And that's why it's important to not get caught up with things that everybody was talking about, the Blackout Tuesday. And that's great, that's fine. If you want to use your platform and all the space you occupy online, represent your black family. But at the end of the day, if you're speaking up but you're not standing up, you're not helping anybody. So that being said, Kennedy's going to close us out. Thank you guys very much.
Wait.
Say some words. I'll close us out.
Okay, cool. Well, the sun's not out anymore, so we got some shade. Come on in.
I feel like I might be able to
Go ahead.
just a little bit of height here.
Hey, everybody.
That works too, but we were just kneeling for a while, so if you don't want to, that's fine. My name is Kate Smith. I am a transplant to Winston-Salem from most recently New York City. I've spent my adult life fleeing where I came from in Texas and Arizona as a gender non-conforming person, as a queer person. And so one of the things I wanted to address, because I haven't heard it addressed, this is my second protest this week, is the fact that a disproportionate amount of trans women of color, specifically black women of color, are murdered. To the point that the American Medical Association, right, the AMA, the people who decide whether your doctor gets to be a doctor or not, have declared it an epidemic. The number of women, black trans women, murdered in the hands of police officers is not accurately documented because they are misgendered, and we don't care about them. One of the reasons I fled the Southwest, now here I'm in the South, although this is pretty north compared to where I've been before. The number of Baptist churches here makes me feel scared. When you step up to pray, I realize you have good intentions, but for me, that brings fear into my heart. And when I think about the trans people in my life, the trans women who are no longer here, and when I say trans women, I mean black trans women. The fact that you have never gone to a march and hashtag said their name is something I want you all to go home and think about. I want you to do a little research to dig into why do we not talk about this? If it is an epidemic to the point where they've done research and put it in medical journals, why are we not talking about those lives that matter? My shirt says treat people with kindness, all right? Sometimes I have a hard day doing that. But it is still my intention set out every day to ignore my fear of the Baptist church, ignore my fear of the South, because it's important for all of us, no matter what fear we may come with, for our lives, for our safety, for the safety of others, it is important for us to make our voices heard, regardless of the danger, because the danger we're in right now is nothing in comparison as to what it is for black men and women, black trans men and women, gender non-conforming, gay, lesbian, whatever the case may be. That color of the rainbow we're talking about is not necessarily a rainbow that you're all a part of. And so today, I want you to just remember that there are more than just 2 hashtag names we're gonna say tonight. Research a few more. Think about who we've lost, who we've never counted.
And that's all I've got to say.
That was really great. Give her another.